Hey, how's everybody doing? Um, if you're watching this, it's probably May 1st or days after May 1st, and you're watching my college decision right now. First, I just want to thank God, thank my school, my family, my friends, and just everyone dang, hold on, my bad. Everyone that's been sticking with me for this whole entire ride throughout just this childhood life, not just high school, but just from the moment I came into this world to where I'm at now. So I thank everyone for that. And I don't even know where to start. This is definitely one of the most important decisions of my life. 6 months earlier, I wouldn't think I would be making this specific decision. My basically going into senior year only had two schools in mind, which was University of South Carolina in Columbia and Savannah College of Arts and Design. And in the middle of that, my dad was just telling me to, encouraging me to basically try and don't just leave, my hometown college, if you want to call it that, South Carolina State University here in Orangeburg. Just don't count that out just because it's in Orangeburg. Everyone, at least in Orangeburg, they're just like, I don't want to stay in my city. Interesting enough, there's people that stay in their city, whether it be staying in South Carolina State or Claflin University. Days go by more and more, and it's like, all right, I kind of don't want to be too far from home. So that kind of left SCAD out the picture. Like, I haven't even applied for SCAD at all. So that changed my top three. And South Carolina State University came into that top three. And it was just one day. I'm researching whether this one specific school had my major. Like, I mean, I know they said they had my major when they came and visit the school during our senior seminar class. And yeah, they were saying they had it, but I just wanted to do like more research on it. And then I seen that although like it's an underrated school and it's kind of like an underdog, I guess, to other schools in the state of South Carolina. They're invested in my major and my interest, which is like arts, studio arts, and animation. They even have a game design program, like certification program, and I just found that pretty cool. I visited the school, seemed so chill and relaxed. I even looked up the minority rate. It's a small school, but with it not being an HBCU, it's only about 700 black people. I did only because like I've always been in small schools. Like the school I go to, there's probably only 400 something black people, which is only 400 something people. But yeah, 700 black people there if you count the percentages, and I guess another few hundred of other like minorities, and obviously the rest, the most of it white. I just found when you think about stuff like that, and when you're kind of like, all right, I haven't been around so much people that don't look like me, it's one of the things you just have to adjust to, you know. In this life, we're going to come across people. Like, I'm so serious. You're going to come across people that don't look like you. My best friend, Isaiah Sibley, is a white individual. The way that made Isaiah my best friend is our music taste. It was my freshman year in high school. It was like dress up as somebody to look up to day. And I dressed up as Lecrae, I guess. I didn't have locks at the time, so I just twisted my hair and did a temporary coloring on it. And it's lunchtime. I'm standing at lunch. I look right to me. Isaiah has this hat on. It says 116. And then I had to take another look at it. And I'm like, hold on, you listen to, that's 116 is Lecrae's group and all that. And I'm like, you listen to Lecrae and him? He's like, yeah. So I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but yeah, that's how he kind of became my best friend, basically. And I just came to my point, like, you know, don't be, it's 2025, you know. We have to learn how to interact with on both sides. We have to learn how to, you know, engage with people that don't physically look like us, you know. That's what all the leaders that came before us strive for. You know, Martin Luther King and them. They wanted to be sure that there'll be a day where, you know, people can join hands and eat at the same table without, you know, being judged or criticized by the way they look. That's my spill on just the racial aspect of it. I've been yapping so long for about a couple minutes. So I'm gonna tell y'all my decision and yap some more. And this decision, when I think about it, it really comes full circle. And I'll tell y'all why just right now. So in the 2025-2026 academic school year, I'll be enrolling in a university that is in the city I was born in, which is the University of Aiken, located in Aiken, South Carolina. And I will be majoring in studio arts. And yeah, like I said, that was just such a important decision and even a stressful decision for these past several months. You know, like literally making this decision, it was like 11 something p.m. We just finished financial registration for Clemson. And this is during spring break, so the national decision day was less than a month away. And, you know, I'm in the hallway at the house, My mom's just like, do you have a favorite? Like, do you have an idea of something of where you want to go specifically, like right now at this moment? And I'm just like, I love all these other schools, but for this season, I'm leaning more towards USC Aiken. And I say this season because I'm gonna graduate high school with an associate's degree, which would hopefully and more than likely only have me in college for undergraduate for about around 2 years. So basically, bachelor's in around 2 years, and I can, you know, pursue a master's in Aiken or somewhere else, maybe USC Columbia. We don't know. And yes, I'm like, when it comes to receiving this bachelor's, I think I'll go USC Aiken. So the next day we do housing application and everything. A hard decision. Once again, these past several months, like I said, I was only thinking of USC Columbia or SCAD, and then adding state to that as well. But then, you know, around this year 2025, top 3, USC Aiken, USC Columbia, South Carolina State. That's what I was leaning towards to. It was either out of those 3. And that night I'm like, I'm shaking my head like, yeah, USC Aiken. I go to bed, I'm like, God, did I make the right decision? And like a whole bunch of intrusive thoughts saying, yeah, you did, no, you didn't. And, you know, I just had to realize, like, no matter where I'm at And no matter where I go, I just have to trust God and know that He's with me, know that He's gonna guide me. And that's kind of what's been keeping me comfort throughout these past days and those days before. There's friends of mine, there's classmates of mine that are still worrying about where to go and still stressed about choosing the right decision. And one thing I have to say to y'all, like I said, just trust God. No matter where you go or where you choose, just believe that God will guide you and guide your steps. When I think about it too, the more I'm praying on this decision and the more I'm leaning more and more into USC Aiken, I just had this saying like, I didn't really come to a decision. The decision came to me. Like it just, the more I kept praying about it and, doing research on majors and everything, the more it starts getting closer and closer to me and my choice. So that's where it kind of came to. And my plans in college, my mom's leaving. My plans in college, like I said, studying studio arts so I can learn how to animate. I'm a guy, I'm an anime fan. I'm a action animated series fan. So I always want to delve into that and put, my life experiences into that. And also they have a certification program, like I said, for gaming and designing video games and character design and all the 3D stuff with Blender and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I can get into that. It's an extra $1,000, but like $2,000, but yeah, because I want to get into all of it: animation, video games, music, all of that. Everything that's entertaining to y'all and creative to y'all, I want to do it. And also, I do want to get back into basketball, not for NCAA Division II or anything, but a club basketball, intramural. Just competing on the court without, any type of system or extra burden to win something and go to the next level. I know the me in 8th grade will probably cry seeing me not, going to Duke or something and dunking on everybody. But hey, we following God's plan, and God's plan is way better and bigger and more fulfilling than what we originally want. The hoops dream is for someone else. And, we're just gonna do it for fun. So you'll learn that someday. When it comes to studying abroad, I was just so against that. And, I'm like, why would I need to go out the country for a college thing? Like, I'm not trying to do that. And USC Aiken, once again, it made me want to consider that again, because we're in this semi-orientation / open house presentation, and they're like, yo, we're taking the study abroad to Japan. I'm like, yeah, I want to do study abroad now, because Japan is basically my childhood. Basically, what I'm saying is the things originating from Japan are things that I grew up watching, Dragon Ball Z, a little bit of Naruto, My Hero Academia. And either that or the things I grew up watching were inspired by art in Japan. Teen Titans, Ninja Turtles, Ultimate Spider-Man, they have little anime gags and whatever. So that opened my eyes. I'm like, yeah, I want to say it, bro. Only if it's Japan. Like, if I'm not going to Japan, then what's the whole... Let me stop. But, I love Japan. I want to go to Japan. I just realized, like, I forgot to thank my church. I said, thank God, school, family, friends, and I ain't even seen my church. So I want to thank my church, right? Restoration Church International. Shout out to Pastor Trey, Pastor Katie, Pastor Chandler, Bishop Billy, Dr. Marsha, everyone else, Minister David, Minister Courtney. basically everyone that church is like my second family, and my family, my family in Christ. And I wouldn't be the man I was today without them. It takes a village, and that village was the church. So I'm very thankful for you know the love they've shown me and my family. And it's not the end. I'm still gonna tap in whatever way I can. uh Hopefully I get to come back and tell my experiences to the youth ministry, whether that be during the church anniversary in Orangeburg or something in Columbia. But yeah, I can't wait to see how my way of participating with the church would be in this next journey. And I'm praying I still do. But yeah, that's my college decision, everybody. USC Aiken 2025, 2026. Don't know what I'm going to do for 26, 27. I'm going to graduate, hopefully. Bachelor's degree. 27, 28, 28, 29. Master's, hopefully. But, we'll just have to see together. And we will. So, see y'all.